Now, before I talk about some of the herbs, I feel like there's some important aspects to talk about in terms of myths and misconceptions, dangers of misuse, and some classification dynamics of adaptogens. So just real quick, some myths and misconceptions. For one, they're good for everyone. Not true. Anytime anyone says this, that, or the other is good for everyone, run away. They don't know what they're talking about. This is just my opinion, but anytime anyone says adaptogens are for everyone, I don't think they really know what they're talking about. A lot of times people will say, oh, one adaptogen is every adaptogen. They're essentially all the same. Again, incorrect statement. All adaptogens have their uniqueness and their individuality, just like people. They're a panacea. These are not panaceas. They will not cure everything. They will not give you free energy. They will not fix a bad lifestyle. This is just not true. They're amazing herbs with amazing properties, but they will not fix everything without any effort on your part. And I think along with that, there can be a thought of taking them can be like a replacement for a healthy lifestyle. Like, oh, you don't need to get adequate quality sleep. You don't really need to eat that healthy. Just take adaptogens and you'll be healthy. This is a very bad approach from a therapeutic standpoint. And again, there's lots of herbs placed in this category by some folks that really don't belong in there. Some call, say, turmeric is an adaptogen. Not true. Cannabis is an adaptogen. Not true. Gotu kola is an adaptogen. Not true. So there's a lot of herbs that are said to be adaptogens. And I think one of the big ones too is like, oh, anything wrong in your body, an adaptogen will just correct it. Oftentimes the term adaptogen and amphoteric are kind of misconstrued and overlapped with one another incorrectly. So it's very important to differentiate something that is amphoteric in nature versus adaptogenic. So that can be a misunderstanding that I see a lot out there. Now, they're great herbs, but they do have dangers associated with them, and they can be misused. So one thing that we see with adaptogens is if people take a lot of them in excess, there is a potential of enabling someone to push themselves beyond their physiological limit, which in the long run further promotes burnout. And, there's been research done on this with athletes that are using, say, cordyceps mushroom to aid in their athleticism. And sure, we might see improved metrics on their athletic performance, but upon follow-up, we can see that they actually are burning themselves out more because they're using the adaptogen to kind of override, in a sense, their baseline physiological mechanisms that says, hey, you're pushing it too far, slow it down, time to stop. So there can be a further promoting of burnout through the misuse of adaptogens. They can be used to mask deeper symptoms. Again, like I said, someone can have deeper disease present, of which fatigue is an attribute of that can actually just be masked by using adaptogens. And you can excessively dose them to the point of overstimulation. And I always like to say, in my opinion, if you're taking enough of an adaptogen to feel excessively stimulated or jittery, or it's keeping you awake at night, or you feel like you just drank a quad shot espresso, you're taking too much. And it's really easy for people to do that with all these phytopharmaceutical products out there that are these ridiculously concentrated extracts of herbs, which have never, there's no real historical use of those herbs in that level of concentration. So I think we do have to be a little bit careful with the adaptogens in that regard.